Happy New Year to you all. We are so grateful to have ended 2019 and we are now in 2020. You are all welcome to the first episode in this year 2020 episode of Young World. This is Young World for you. You are Young World and Young World is you. How was your Christmas and your New Year? I hope everyone enjoyed it and everyone had a nice time entering into 2020. Don't forget all those resolutions you had to make. Don't forget all those changes and positive steps you want to take. Don't forget how you want to go a little bit higher than where you are now in everything that you are doing. Yeah? And if you have not started anything in 2019, this 2020, make sure you start your dream. Make sure you begin to realize what you have in mind. It's good to be busy. So 2020 is your year of being busy. You're welcome again to Young World because we had all had nice time. We all have fun. We spent so much money. I spent a lot, and I'm sure young viewers over there, you must have spent some money buying yourself and family and friends some stuff. So we must have spent. But you know, you might be a little bit down about your finance. Don't be. We're going to bounce up financially again, so don't worry. January might drag itself, but we're going to go through it. Yeah? So now this evening, I want you to relax. Get yourself a cup of tea or coffee if it's not too late for you. Be excited to watch this show. Tonight, we are going to be talking on a very important topic. It is called depression in the young person. We want to know why depression is on the increase in the young mind. The young person is so down that it's affecting their life, and if we don't talk about it, if we don't take care of it, it might start through young adulthood into adulthood. But because we want to have a good life, we want our quality of life to be better and enhanced. That's why we have brought this topic as our first one in this first episode in 2020. I have my guest again. I'm so excited to have her. She knows she's in the medical profession, so she knows very much about depression. She's going to be speaking to us tonight. I will leave her to introduce herself.
Hi, thank you for having me back on your show again. Happy New Year to all viewers, and I wish us a prosperous New Year and many months ahead. My name is Adekemi Ogunmokun-Aladesuru, and I'm here today to conversate with you regarding depression and many flaws, and I hope whatever we share today is useful to you and myself and anybody who needs it.
Thank you very much. You are welcome, Princess Adekemi. Welcome again to Young World. We are very, very excited to have you on the show again, this first episode in 2020. Now, why do we have depression, especially in the young world, in the young people's mind? What causes depression and what is depression?
There are a number of factors that cause depression. There's not one specific thing that we can say causes depression, but quite sometimes a loss of a family member, a major event happening, causes one to fall into what we know as depression. And sometimes there is depression in one's life and you don't even know that you're suffering from depression. These kind of people who have this form of depression, they're hardworking, they keep going, they just do what they need to do, but when they break fully. Like it's a real big break. So depression in itself, it's a very, very big topic because, as you may know, there's postnatal depression, there's clinical depression, there's depression in different angles relating to different aspects in life. So it can happen, but 100% answer to why it happens is not known, but we know that there are certain triggers to depression.
Yeah, okay. So we've heard what depression is and what triggers depression. If I may ask, what will make a young person suffer depression?
For example, like I said earlier on about, let's say they've lost a family member at a young age, or they've been sexually abused, or there's been a major event. And you will notice that almost every day they will have a lack of doing anything, no interest in life itself. They don't want to go outside, mingle with anybody, maybe harsh towards loved ones, have very low self-esteem, not have any positive thinking or see any positivity in doing things. And this emotion or display of behavior would happen maybe 28 days out of 30. So it would be a continuous thing. It's not something where today I just feel low and down and that's it. It's a continuous feeling whereby something is wrong and help is needed. So it could be a loss of a close friend. Sometimes it's emotional, where maybe they've been in a relationship and it's broken down and they don't know how to handle it, and it builds and builds and builds until it now falls into clinical depression. And it's a really big thing, because sometimes unless you seek help or you let somebody know that you're feeling this way, you're going through this, you may not come out of it. And it's a very, very big factor affecting young people today. I do come across a lot of young people, 15, 16, even as young as 12, going through depression.
Goodness.
And it's a very, it's sad to say, but it happens. Depression is real. It's real. And I think it gets worse because people don't really know how to accept that they're depressed, and some people sometimes are too ashamed to say that they're depressed, or there's a confusion behind it of knowing whether they're depressed or not, or just anxious, or they don't want to be stigmatized as having a mental health issue. This is where the big umbrella comes, because once you hear mental health, you think automatically the person's crazy, but it's not that. There's a lot of mental health issues out there that does not necessarily mean that the person is crazy or doesn't know what they're doing. Depression falls under it. Anxiety falls in it as well. So there's a lot of different things that affect young people today that allows them, or in the end of the day, you find out that they are depressed.
Thank you very much, Princess Adekemi. Okay, viewers, I hope you are listening. We've got the number on the screen. If anyone wants to call in, you are free to call in to say your own view, what you think about young people getting depressed. Or do you think you have someone around you who is depressed and you want to ask our guest a question on how to go about it? Kindly call the number on the screen, 07708 743 530. 07708 743 530. All right, Princess Adekemi, I'll come to you again. How do we know someone is depressed? What are the signs?
So that was what I was explaining before. You can't know 100% until they are diagnosed by a doctor or a specialist, a therapist. But there are some obvious key signs, like somebody that's normally bubbly, outgoing, now becomes somebody that doesn't want to come out of bed. It's even difficult for them to come out of bed, even when they're willing, but they just don't have that strength to do it. They become very self-conscious. They don't want to mingle with loved ones because they don't feel like they're worth or worthy to be there. The self-esteem becomes close to zero. It's very, very low. Emotionally, they may not be able to communicate how they feel to loved ones. There's like a very big shutdown, if I'm going to put it in a nutshell, because there's a lot of emotions, but they're like, for you to be diagnosed as being depressed, you would have to have 5 key symptoms, or a minimum of 5 key symptoms that have been there progressively every day or almost every day. And that's an example. I can give you another example. Like if you go to watch a movie now and the movie is really emotional, made you feel sad, made you feel down, that's not you being depressed. That's an emotion that's come out of you watching a movie. So, but on the other side, find somebody may lose a loved one, or something may just break down. Maybe they've lost their job, or finances or things are not working the way they expect it to, and you see they become secluded. They isolate themselves from what is the norm, or what we would call the norm, and it just starts to grow on itself, and before you know it, they get lost in that feeling. And then some people say, oh, they're depressed because, or I think they're depressed because they're always crying. Crying is just an emotion that comes out from the actual feeling of depression. Just because you cry constantly does not mean that you're depressed, so to say. It is just, that is an emotion or a response to how the depressed person is feeling, or the depressed party is feeling. So it's something that it's really touchy. You have to be a professional to be able to diagnose this, but in yourself you would know if somebody's down, if somebody has been down continuously for the last month and nothing has changed. Even when you try to cheer them up and everything, nothing has changed, then you know something is wrong. But you can't automatically diagnose that this is depression, because there are so many other factors or symptoms or diseases that come under mental health that have the same symptom as depression. So that's why I said it's very important for it to be diagnosed by a doctor or a therapist, and then from there you can get the adequate help. And that's it.
All right, viewers. We can hear our guest telling us more about this depression. I'm learning because I never knew some of the things she's saying now. Princess, like if I have a young person around me, or if you have a young person around you, so you need to know the person very well. So when depression sets in, you could at least have an idea. Just as you said, someone who is vocal and outspoken person suddenly withdraws themselves, and you
do get some young people that get to a stage in their life where they do withdraw, they are quiet, and it has nothing to do with depression. It's just to do with maybe their own growth and the way they want to live their life. But they're, like I said, you have a continuous continuous symptoms displaying together, and it wouldn't just be okay, because the person is sad and quiet, they're depressed. No, there are continuous factors, like I said, feeling low, no affection towards your siblings or your loved ones or anything, you understand? Not believing in yourself or having anything positive to say about yourself or positive to think about yourself. You may even have suicidal thoughts with a plan or no plan in place. These are the things that come up when you're looking at somebody that is potentially depressed or is depressed. So there are a lot of factors that in the clinical world that is looked at before you can just say somebody's depressed. And then obviously once that's identified, it now comes to the level of how depressed is this person? Is this manic depression? What is it? Is it still the early stages? How do we need to treat it? Is it medication? Is it therapy? Is it a combination of both? There's so many different things that need to be looked at so that it can be treated.
All right, Princess, thank you very much. So, is it depression that makes one feel suicidal or having...
No, it's an affiliation. Depression and being suicidal, they do work hand in hand. And for example, a suicidal patient could just, from the ones I deal with, it could just be there's a trigger.
Okay.
Something has happened. Maybe they've grown up in abusive home. They're now in the service, or things don't go as they expect or they have expected, or what they've grown up to know as the way. They find out it's not the way. It starts to mess up a lot of things from what they would be comfortable with, and then there's a break. And that break, when it happens, if there's no support system, that's when you start falling through the cracks, and you start hearing they're suicidal, there's no point of living because they don't have any family, or they don't think anyone believes in them, or things like that. And it still goes back to the thing I said in the beginning about mental health, because of the stigma around it. People don't understand what the service is about and what help is there, because mental health is a very, very big thing, and there's a lot of services that you can use without even anyone knowing that you're in therapy, or you're under the mental health team, or even like when you hear social workers, you automatically believe, oh, they're bad people, they're coming to take you away or something. But there are services within that service that are there to help you when you're feeling a certain type of way, or you're not understanding how you're feeling at all. Some people don't like to go to the doctors, hence the reason why they may be suffering from depression, but they're not going to get any help because they don't want to go and see their GP. But the mental health team are there to help you with this. You can seek their help. They're in different hospitals. There's also crisis teams. There's a lot of things under the mental health team. What people do not know about it because of the stigma that's behind it. Anything mental health, you're crazy. That's what people think, but that's not what it is. So suicidal or being suicidal, it can work hand in hand with depression or not. Some people suffer from anxiety, panic attacks all the time, and they feel like they're different to people in society. And for the fact that they feel different, that alone makes them start to think differently and think, what's the point? If A is able to run down the road and feel okay, and I can't run down the road and feel okay, why am I here? Do you understand? And these are the kind of things that we take for granted. When I say we, I mean people that don't have any mental health issues or haven't got any health issues in its own. So, a person that is suffering from mental health, they need that love, they need that affection, they need that care. Even with young people nowadays, when they don't cut their coat according to their size, or what they've been brought up to believe is the norm is not the norm. And unfortunately, there are a lot of young people in today's society that are in that. Maybe the parents are alcoholics, or even they themselves, they've at a young age ran away from home, or there's not even a place to call home. So whatever they've learned on the street is their norm. And then when, for example, maybe someone's coming to cocaine, and it starts to mess up with the brain, the system, before you know it, they start to have medical issues, mental issues. You come under the mental health team, and then things grow from there. And somebody that could do things normally may not be able to do things normally anymore, because they're so addicted on the drugs that if they don't have that drug, they can't even tell you if it's morning or night. And these are the key factors that affect people and make them fall into different categories. That's why I said, when you're talking about depression. It's big. Even like when young people, when they have children, for example, sometimes we all look at it like, oh, children are cute, they're so sweet, but actually looking after the child. It takes a lot from you, physically, emotionally, mentally, and sometimes you can't handle it. When the child is constantly crying, your brain is full. It's like it's going to blow. That's when you now start hearing that they have postnatal depression. They can't. If the child is like just crying a second, you can see that change in the countenance of the mother. So it's a very, very big topic. Depression is not something that you can just box like this. It's really big.
Thank you very much, Princess Adekemi. Viewers, this is coming out from a young person to us. Do you feel in any way what she has described? She has said it again and again in her speech to us not to think of the stigma. If you are in any way affected, get help. She said to us, you could get help without anyone knowing. You don't have to be in denial, just as you said, you know, to get help. As long as it's being treated and you get well again. We thank her very much for that. We're still expecting anyone out there who wants to call in. The number on the screen, 07708 743 530. All right, Princess Adekemi, I came across a young lady, I can't remember when now, but early 2019.
Okay.
And at my workplace, she goes to the back office very often. And one of those days, I just found that she was crying. And I did ask why. And she said to me, I don't look okay. I'm not beautiful. You know, and she kept on with all that. And she showed me some pictures of some mini celebrities who are upcoming, her age. She wants to look like them. And she's been saving, you know, she's working, she's been saving some money to do some
surgery.
Yeah.
Enhancements. Okay.
And it's difficult to save those money, and it's making her to smoke about a packet or 2 packets, can't remember, a day, and she doesn't sleep. And she had, that particular day, she had a row with the mom, and she told the mom she hates her. She told the mom she hates her. And to top it all, she said, she was told she's suffering depression. And I realized that some of these young people, the social media is, they don't seem to realize that the life they see on social media is not the actual life. Do you want to explain about that, please?
Okay. That in itself is another dimension entirely.
Entirely.
Social media is very, very dangerous. Myself, for example, I am a plus size person, but I've learned to love myself that way.
Yes.
But society paints it, or social media paints it, that if you're not slim and slender, size 0 to size 6, you're not beautiful. But the beauty starts from within.
Exactly.
And it's so unfortunate that social media, you can't really control what comes out on social media. Sometimes a slim person may take a picture genuinely, like, let's use Kim Kardashian, for example.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Everyone knows Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
She takes a picture. Another person's going to see the picture and say, oh, I want to be like her. I want to have a body shape like her. But do you know what Kim had to do to have that body shape? Is it surgery she did? Is it exercise she did? And then the person that's looking at that body and aspiring to have that body starts to think, maybe stops eating, you know, stops doing what they should do normally. Then you end up in an ambulance and in a hospital because your body can't take it. Your body can't handle what you're putting on. Or that's where you end up seeing some people become anorexic, because when they eat, they will go and vomit. They will have an eating disorder because of, I want to keep my shape. And there's nothing wrong with being slender. There's nothing wrong with being plus size. Do you understand? The main thing is that you need to learn to love yourself. Because if you don't, who's going to love you if you don't love yourself? And the issue of this social media again is everybody just sees the good days on social media. These celebrities also have bad days. These celebrities also have parts on their bodies that they don't like. The only thing that is different with the celebrities and non-celebrities is that they have the money to wake up tomorrow and say, I'm having liposuction. They have the money to wake up and say, I'm going to get this job done on my body, I'm going to get that job done on my body, and they don't have to think about it because they have the money. You understand? So, in the end of the day, it's unfortunate. Social media is the fastest way to spread good and bad news. And in this day and age that we're at, everybody wants to have a big bum, big breast, small waist. But if everybody looks the same, we might as well turn to robots and just have a boring world, simple as. So, unfortunately, Lady M, this is the world we live in, and this is life.
So we must let young people know that it's not everything they see on social media.
That is true.
That is true.
Even celebrities that have slender body, they still Photoshop.
You see?
They still Photoshop the imperfections. It's life.
You just have to be who you are, and you have to love yourself for who you are.
Exactly. That's the main thing, because you can't go, okay, if you don't have the money, what are you going to do?
What are you going to, exactly, like the lady,
what are you going to do?
It's difficult.
And you rightly said that the lady she's working, she's saving money, but most of her money is going on her cigarettes.
Yes.
And most likely than not, she probably won't be eating healthily the way she should be, or what she would have done normally, look after herself, she wouldn't be doing it because she's trying to rake money and at the same time calm her nerves with smoking. So in the end of the day, if she's meant to make that money in 1 year, she's probably going to take 3 years to make it, because she's still going to smoke more and buy more smoke packets and smoke more again. And at the end of the day, what she wants to achieve, she may not achieve it, or go the black market way, get loans,
exactly.
And when you now get the loans and the loans now build up, that's when you hear, I'm depressed, because they don't know where to turn to anymore. They're thinking, this bill's going to come out, that bill's going to come out, this is going to come out, what's left, all the money's out before the money's in. That alone makes that person, or can make that person shut down, break down, and then you start to see that instead of her even losing weight by not eating, she probably starts gaining the weight because she's stressed. And that's another sign, or one of the symptoms of depression building. The weight loss. She said she hates her mom. Lack of love for an immediate family member, spouse. Things like that. So it's a really, really poop thing, should I say? Social media, because unfortunately, sometimes the message they're trying to put across gets changed into something else. And it makes young people think, I have to be this way. And it's not.
Social media has so much effect on young people.
It does.
And it affects many, aspects of their lives. And, so we should just love ourselves and be who we are. And young people should not, make the person on the social media their model, because you don't know what they've gone through to get to where they are now. And you are young, and you have to live your life. That's true. Okay. Another aspect is sometimes we have students getting out of school because of depression. They feel the demand of studying is too much into them. What can we say to such people?
Sometimes I think we call depression before depression hits.
Okay.
And when it comes to the studying factor, or going to uni or whatever, sometimes the course the person may be studying, they may have been influenced to study it. It's not something they genuinely wanted to study. So it could be an influence from parents, friends, whatever, because I want to be where my friends are, let me go. And then when you start studying, start reading, it's not going in. You start to feel like, are you daft? Do you not have a brain? Why can you not take it in? What's going wrong? And then you see that the person just stops going to class entirely, or they just disappear. And sometimes it may be that is what they wanted to study, but they didn't know the work that it entailed. Or the person is studying this thing, it's going well, then they get mixed up in one crowd or the other, or you're an outcast who's being picked on because you don't fit in with the society in the university. And for example, like when I was in secondary school, I had my hair cut. So they used to call me a boy. They used to tease me that I was a boy. But I'm a very thick thick-skinned person, and I'm very, very, very confident in myself. So, you know, at times it used to bother me that, oh, why are they calling me this? Why are they calling me? But I used to just brush it off. Like, I'm going to keep going. And I kept on going to where I am now. And that's the same thing I encourage my daughter to do, or people that are around me. That if you believe in yourself, people believe in you. If you leave room for them to know that they're hurting you, they will continue to hurt you. So that's why it goes back to loving yourself. If you love yourself, no matter what you look like, if you've got long hair, short hair, nappy hair, you know, straight hair, whatever, if you love yourself, people will love you for you. And I'm this kind of person. I like to read people's stories, people's blogs, and there was a video I was watching on YouTube this week, and a lady was talking about her afro hair, that no matter how much hair gel she puts in or whatever, it doesn't slick back like somebody who has relaxed hair, but she has learned to accept that that is how her hair is. That before she used to get so upset and cry because it wouldn't go the way she expected it to go, but now that she's decided to accept that this is my hair, what kind of styles go with my kind of hair, and now she's been able to find that self-love, and she's got a YouTube channel, and it's growing, and it's really, really good. And you know, that just made me sit down and think, this is what I'm talking about. Self-love is very important. And you know, sometimes it's very, very hard to identify this self-love or know where to pick it from. People with depression don't choose to be depressed. They don't choose to be depressed. It's not like they want to be depressed. It's just a feeling, or a stress level or reaction that's happened in the brain, and it needs to be reset. Put it that, if I can use that word, it needs to be reset. And before it can be reset, sometimes you do need medication. Sometimes you do need to see a therapist. Sometimes you need a combination of that. You need the love. You need the support from loved ones, even from people that you don't know. Sometimes people that are suffering from depression, there are like groups that they go to talk to people that are experiencing the same thing they've been through. You know, it's just a matter of time for you to grow out of it. I know another person who was suffering from cancer, and for 2 years she was depressed. Just at the mere fact that she thought, I ate healthy, I worked out, everything. So why me? Why did I have to have that cancer? Do you understand? So that alone was beating her up. And that goes back to what I was saying, a major event. That was something, you know, for someone to be told, you have cancer and you may die. It's a very, very big thing. So that's what I mean by when I say major events cause an effect. And that effect causes the reaction that we see today, known as depression. You know, and it's a very, very, very big thing. Where you hear some people say, oh, I'm having a panic attack, sometimes you look at it, panic attack, what? Okay, you're hyperventilating, and so no, it's more than that. Sometimes when that builds into something else, you're talking about anxiety, you're talking about they're just scared to open the front door because they believe they're going to have a panic attack. What happens? They don't have no life anymore. They start to just stay in, withdraw, and this is what we're talking about: low self-esteem, not wanting to mix with anybody, not even wanting anyone to knock on their door. A knock on the door can even give them a panic attack. So it's not a thing of choice.
They didn't choose to.
They didn't choose to.
So if we are around such people, we'll try to seek help on their behalf.
Sometimes talk to them. You know, sometimes a mistake that's made is that, oh, because we know somebody's going through something, we automatically just jump and say, oh, this person needs help. Talk to the person. Find out what is actually wrong with the person. Sometimes they may not want to share. They may not want to tell you, this is what I'm feeling, or this is what I'm going through. But the fact that you've put that hand out for them to know that you're there anytime they can lean on you, it goes a very, very long way. And I also believe in respecting people's feelings and respecting people's what they want and what they don't want. So if I know somebody that's depressed or going through depression, or I feel is depressed, I would obviously conversate with the person. Let them know that this is what I think. There's some services available. Let them know there's services. I would not enforce it that you have to go to this place. No,
All right.
I would let them know that there are services available, and you know, I managed to get some leaflets on it. So maybe when you get a chance, you can read up on it. Maybe a couple of days or so, let it pass. Oh, how did you find those leaflets? Were they useful to you? They will let you know, and you in yourself would know as well if this person is finding it useful. But you always have to know that there's free will. If they're competent, you cannot force them. If they are competent, they know who they are, where they are, they know what they're doing, they have that awareness, you cannot force them to go anywhere. You can only offer, this is the help that's available. It's left to them to seek that help. There's 2 levels to it. If you now see that the patient, the particular party is not competent, not coherent to life now, then it is well within the rights to get the help for the person. The person may need to go to a hospital, you may need to call an ambulance or a doctor or whatever. But once they're in the care of the clinical background, then obviously we would reiterate these information to the party. We would refer it to their GPs as well, and you know, at least let them know that we're here to support. This is what you need to do. So it's also now left to the party. Once we feel, if the person does become competent, it's left to them. But if we feel they're not competent, they can't make this, that's when obviously the doctor would make a decision in the interest of the party or the person. So.
Because you know, the person may want to pretend or may want to give that outlook that they know what they are doing, they are competent, but in actual, when you see that they are not coherent at all.
As time goes on, you would be able to pick that up, or as a clinical person, you'd be able to pick that up as time goes on. That's why I was saying to you in the beginning that there are some people that suffer with depression who mask it very well because they can still go to work, they can still do their day-to-day activities, but when they do break, they break 100%. So, you know, there's actually a particular name for that type of depression. It escapes my mind right now, but when I remember I will tell you. And it just goes to show that the person can be walking, talking normally like you and I do, but when they do break,
they just break.
There's no warning signs for it. It just happens, and that's when you hear someone say, "Oh, they had a nervous breakdown." Or some people don't come back from that nervous breakdown. Some people fall deeper and deeper because they don't seek help, or there isn't any help for them at that particular time. Why? Because we all believe they're okay. We see them going to work. We see them having a conversation every day, so we think they're okay. But sometimes people are not okay, and it's being masked very well. I could walk on the road and be smiling, but I could be thinking a million things in my head. This is the world we live in.
How do we deal with such? I mean, it's a bit difficult to deal with such, because someone who you think they're okay, they do normal things with you, and you're quite right. We've had a lot in the news where you just see someone, and before you know it, they are throwing themselves in front of the train, or you know, it's falling from a high building.
It's unfortunate,
and we don't really know how to deal with such.
It's really sad. It's still read in the news. I think it was in December last year, of another clinical person, a nurse as well, who killed herself after working back-to-back 12-hour shifts. She was stressed. She was tired. Obviously, there would have been a lot more. There would have been a lot more factors, you know, affecting this said person, and it would have been a build-up of things whereby people haven't picked up on her stress levels or her not being okay, because she's still going to work. She's still doing. She killed herself. I think she was 35 or so. She killed herself. They wrote it in the paper that after doing consecutive 12-hour shifts, the nurse killed herself. They believe to stress levels and overworking. You know, obviously we all know how the health services currently. So that alone is a clear example of what I'm talking about when I say there are people in this world who are going through one thing or the other, who are depressed, but you would not know. And imagine if that's happening in adults, what about young children? What happens there? Sometimes where they have to bear the weight of, okay, I tend to use this example of alcoholics because that's the easiest one right now. If you've got parents that are alcoholics, you have to look after yourself, you have to feed yourself, you have to be an adult even though you're a child. That emotional strain builds up, it breaks things in these young people. And that's when you start hearing, oh, their behavior has changed, the way they relate with people has changed. You know, somebody that may have been jolly and everything may become snappy, may not even regard you when you're talking to them. Or even another angle could be a parent has a terminal illness or a sibling has a terminal illness. How that child is dealing with it really matters, and how you relate with that said young one matters, because sometimes they may not express any emotion, but what's going on inside is like a volcano ready to erupt. These are the things that I'm saying to you when I say depression is very, very big.
It's very, very big.
It's
yeah,
very, very big.
I can see that from your explanation. So all we just have to do is when we, as a young person, if you find yourself in such situation and where you think depression is setting in, get someone to talk to. That's the first thing, to let someone know what's really happening inside. So it's good to talk to people, look for help, look for professionals to help, or rather go to your GP. And if you are the kind of young person that doesn't have parental care and it's beginning to tell on you, you're beginning to have a lot of thought inside, it's beginning to affect your daily normal life. It's good to talk to people so you can get help before it escalates. And parents, if we have any child that is ill and is affecting the other siblings, or even that child, the ill child himself, we have to be there for them. We have to talk to them, let them know we understand, and let them know that, well, that the life is full of ups and downs, and after a while things will be okay again. So they can think, because I think it's something that happens from within. And it happens with the thinking, which now begin to affect the life of the person involved. So let's understand, let's be there for them, listen and understand, and seek help, get professional help, go to your GP, get help, get to the mental team people. Let no young person cover their feelings. If you begin to feel down, low, on a regular basis, that's what you said, or it's a daily thing for you, or you find out your friends is beginning to withdraw into themselves, or someone who is lively, full of life, is beginning to become quiet every time, all the time, just as our guest said. He said out of 30 days in a month, 27, 28 days is like that on stretch. It's time to seek help. We're trying to, why we brought this subject up is trying to make young people aware of depression creeping into their lives, so you don't allow it. Did you hear Princess Adekemi saying self-love? Love you for who you are. If you don't love yourself, who is going to love you? So let's love ourselves. Love yourself for who you are. And then you talked about confidence, self-confidence. Irrespective of what anyone says, if they say you are ugly, well, that's their opinion. If anyone says you look like a boy, that's their opinion, or you look like a girl, that's their opinion. You have that confidence in you. Don't allow the words or things that come outside to affect your confidence, your self-confidence. I mean, be strong for yourself. It's your life. It's not another person's life. They are not going to live your life for you, and you won't live their life as well. So it's your life. You know what's best for you and how you want to live your life. So you don't allow these external factors to affect your inside. Again, she talked about, we talked about social media, which is a very big thing. It's not real. Just as our guests have said, they have their down days as well. They get low. They don't show you. They don't put their mood, when they are low, when their mood is very down. They don't come and show it on the social media. They don't do that. So don't think that all through what you see is what it is. No. It's just their life as celebrities. They want to appear as people who are always there, because that's why we call them celebrities. But you have your life. If you want to become a celebrity, you have to go through some training and some lifestyle to get there. So you are not one. So why do you want to be like one? And that causes depression to set in. Again, our princess talked about, you reading the course that maybe it's not what you want to read, but then maybe parents coerced you into reading that course, and so the demand become too much on you. Or rather, it's what you really wanted to study, but you didn't know that the demands required in it. If you find yourself in such a situation, you could easily change courses, isn't it? You could easily. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. This is.
This is Young World. Keep doing it. It's a good, nice program. We really enjoy it. Keep doing the good job, right? And I wish you a happy new year.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, because we learn a lot from this your program called Young World. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling in. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Yes. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for the words of encouragement and for wishing us Happy New Year. As I was saying, even if it's a course that you wanted to study and you find out that the demands are too much for you and you can't cope, instead of allowing it to
build up and eat at you.
Yeah, exactly. You could change courses.
Yeah, take a step back.
Yeah.
Reevaluate.
Yes.
My key word is okay not to be okay. It's fine.
Yes.
Sometimes we go into something with an aim or a view, and when we now start it, it's completely different. It's okay not to be okay. Yeah. It's okay to change directions. It's okay to get off the bus and get on a new bus.
Yes.
It's your life, and however you lay your bed is the way you're going to lay in it. So if you feel like there's too many stones in this bed, it's not right, remove the stones, remove whatever is causing the obstacle to be there, and start again, go again. And another thing I wanted to share as well with the regards to mental health, and that if you don't want to go to your GP, or you don't want to let people or a lot of people know this is what you're going through, just type in NHS choices on your phone, on the internet, wherever. It will show you where the nearest service is to wherever you are, and it is very, very, very useful. And there's also 111. If you call 111, they will also help you. They can put you through after you've been assessed, and so you can be put through to a mental health team who will talk to you. There's Samaritans out there as well that you can call. There are so many different services. Please utilize them. This is 2020. There's too many young people that have died out there from knife crime, from depression, from mental health, from one thing or the other. So it's 2020. Let's get up. Let's fight for the right thing. Let's look after our health, look after ourselves, and just keep going and think positively. It's okay not to be okay. Just hold on to that. Anytime you're feeling down, you're not feeling yourself, you may have somebody you feel comfortable talking to, confide in, talk to the person. Don't think that because you shared that you have this problem with somebody, they're going to laugh at you. Not necessarily. And if you don't wish to share, like I said, NHS choices. 111. You're anonymous to the other person on the line in the sense that they don't know who you are. Obviously, they have your name, your detail, but they don't physically have a relationship with you or know who you are. They're there to give you the help that you need. And as a young person, I hope this hits home for many, many people, because there are so many young people out there with potential, but life gets cut short because of not seeking help, not getting the knowledge that will help you get better at the right time, at the right place. And it's so unfortunate. Some people don't have this information. That's why I'm sharing it with you today, that NHS Choices is there, 111 is there. 999 is emergency if you're dying or something. But 111, NHS Choices, your doctor, they're there to help. So I hope you do seek the help if you're out there and you feel like what we're discussing today is touching part of you or all of you. Please get the help. It's there for us to use it.
Thank you very much, Princess. We are so excited to have you again on this
thank
show.
You for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for telling us and helping us. You viewers, you've heard our Princess talk. Please utilize all that you've heard tonight. Put them into practice. Get help. Help yourself. It's okay not to be okay, she said. Well, we've come to the end of today's episode. This is the first episode, Young World 2020. And I am very, very positive that we have touched a part of you out there. I'm also very, very positive that young people are aware of their lives, just as we have our guests talk to us today. Okay, I will want to say from our Princess to our viewers,
have a wonderful night. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you tune in again next week, because we'll have another amazing topic to touch on for you. And I hope that everything I've said tonight does hit or touch somebody positively, and I hope 2020 is your year, because it's going to be my year. Thank you.
You're welcome, Princess. All right, viewers, this is the end of the episode today. We shall see you same times next week, Thursday. Stay blessed and bye-bye.
Bye.
Come on. Happy James ló sọ wípé ọdún àyàbọ̀ níbikíbi tí o lè wà. Ó fẹ́ jíjẹ ó fẹ́ mímu. Àgàgà tó bá tún wá fàdìyẹ. Bó ṣe kọ́kẹ́rẹ́ bó jẹ́ boilers ni. Full grown healthy. Happy James ni ẹ máa bọ̀. Ìyá Gbénga ọdún yóò yẹ.
Dádì Máyọ̀wá ó yẹ̀ tì nígbà tí mo ti ní Happy James Farm ní ohun gbogbo ti di ìrọ̀rùn.
Happy James Farm bíi báwo.
Ní Happy James Farm ohun gbogbo ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé. Ṣé adìyẹ lẹ́yìn fẹ́ ni cockerels tàbí boilers tí ó tóbi tó dẹ̀ ní àlàáfíà, ohun èlò ọbẹ̀ lóríṣiríṣi, tòmátò tó pọ́n ròdòròdò, tàtàṣé tó rẹ̀ dòdò, ṣọ̀m̀bọ̀ tó yọmọ ṣọ̀bọ̀lọ̀, ẹja àrọ̀ tútù àti gbígbẹ, fresh from farm, no preservation rárá.
Ìmú gbádùn ẹ.
Bákan náà adìyẹ yíyan àti sísun lóríṣiríṣi fún àwọn ilé olóúnjẹ ìgbàlódé ńláńlá àti kéréje ìyẹn restaurant ní Happy James Farm. Àwọn ẹyin adìyẹ tó tóbi bọ̀ǹkùbọ̀ǹkù fún gbogbo àwọn aláràtúntà àti àwọn tó bá fẹ́ ra ẹyọ ìyẹn ní crate. Àyè tí wà láti jẹ́ alágbàtà wọn. Ẹ̀pà kaṣú wọn rẹwà, ó tóbi, ó sì dára lẹ́nu, ó ń ṣara lóore pẹ̀lú. Happy James Farm wọ́n ta ohun mímu lóríṣiríṣi, wọ́n tún ní iléeṣẹ́ bakery ìgbàlódé.
Ṣé lóòótọ́ báwo ni mo ṣe lè rí wọn?
Wọ́n wà l'Ọ́ṣun, wọ́n wà ní Ìbàdàn, wọ́n ṣe home delivery delivery pẹ̀lú níbikíbi tí ẹ bá wà wọ́n gbé gbogbo tí ẹ bá fẹ́ wá fún yín olú-ilé-iṣẹ́ wọn wà ní.
Onírèké village along Ogúnṣẹ́ off Ìwó Ìkirè Ìrèwọlé local government beside Ọ̀ṣun State University.
tàbí kẹ́ kàn sí wọn lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára sales@happyjamesfarm.com tàbí kẹ́ pè wọ́n sórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yìí.
08140097878 àti 0708-138-6770 pẹ̀lú 0701-766-6010.
Happy James Farms ọdún yóò yẹ.
Jerusalem, Jerusalem, land of glory, Jerusalem, holy land, and a visit to Jerusalem.
These are the things that have been written, and we are bearing witness to them as being true. This is an opportunity for you to visit Israel, Mount Nebo in Jordan, the ground where God spoke to Moses, showing him the promised land and the holy land of Jerusalem. 10 days visit to see for yourself the places which you have read in the Bible, like Elah Valley, where David defeated Goliath, Mount Nebo, Sea of Galilee, Canaan, where Jesus turned water to wine, River Jordan, where John the Baptist baptized Jesus Christ, Joseph and Maria House in Nazareth, Jericho, the Dead Sea, the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus prayed, Lazarus' tomb, King David tomb in Jerusalem, the house where Jesus and his disciples had their Last Supper, the Pentecost Upper Room, and so on. Our office is at Albert Basins, South Dockland, London, E16 7QY. For more info, please visit www.holytrinitypilgrimage.co.uk or please call Captain Mother Hassan on 078 721 37953 or Pastor Elijah Kamui on 079 846 34898 or email us info@holytrinitypilgrimage.co.uk. A pilgrim is not a tourist. The tourist sees sights and returns home the same person, but the pilgrim gains insights and returns home changed and spiritually fulfilled.
Jerusalem. Heritage TV. La 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 la.
Me people dem na London, una don hear about HeritageTV? Dem don come with something new. All them boku gladi wey dey happen na London. HeritageTV get different camera for una business dem. Not to just gentleman and woman, no more for take fine picture. You self can look good na camera, and it no matter whose partner the one where you tap. HeritageTV, they take picture, we go make you enemy then shame. You family and friend them go call because HeritageTV, we get the best for any kind of business where you get like birthday, christening, wedding, church or mosque business, and even burying. HeritageTV na the master. HeritageTV, we then at the heart of London, and we get the best technology in our studio in Otapio. You can call me anytime na this number 020-800-46-100, or you can email me na info@heritagetv.co.uk. But wait, you can call me na the mobile self 0734-123-4560. HeritageTV, we no go let you down.